Ever wondered what truly happened to the background characters in fairy tale after their fleeting moments? What about the quieter lives, the unseen struggles, and the triumphs that never made it to the main stage? Prepare to have your minds blown as we dive deep into the untold narrative of those you barely noticed, proving that even the smallest roles can hold the biggest stories. Today, we're exploring the unsung heroes, the overlooked faces, and the forgotten side stories that enrich the fairy tale universe. So grab your Exceed, settle in, and let's take a fresh look at fairy tale through the eyes of its hidden gems. When you think of fairy tale, the spotlight always lands on Natsu, Lucy, Erza, and Grey. But fairy tale's magic doesn't stop with its headliners. The series thrives because of the living, breathing world around them. The bustling guild hall isn't just a backdrop, it's a stage filled with untold stories. Every laugh, every cheer, every quiet drink in the corner adds to the sense that fairy tale is a family, not just a team of warriors. Characters like Levi McGordon started as a background figure, nearly forgotten during her early appearances before blossoming into a vital character. But what about those who never got the same attention? Redius, the artist who literally paints his magic into existence. Jet and Joy, Levi's childhood friends who are often overshadowed but remain steadfastly loyal. Even Kinana, the mysterious barmaid, once cursed as a snake who quietly symbolizes transformation and healing. These are not throwaway designs, they are parts of the heartbeat of fairy tale. By existing in the background, these characters raise the stakes. They remind us that the guild isn't protecting faceless crowds, it's protecting individuals with their own stories, their own struggles, and their own dreams. Fairy tale's world is filled with danger. Every dark guild arc, every dragon attack, every war. These battles don't just scar the main cast, the minor characters carry unseen burdens. Macao Conbolt, once seen like comic relief, the guy with a drink in his hand, but when Makarov disappeared, Macao stepped up to lead. Suddenly the background character became the foundation, showing the leadership is not about raw power, but about heart and persistence. Take Warren Rocco, the telepath whose role seems small, yet in major battles he is the invisible glue, linking minds and strategies. Without him, many coordinated fights would have been chaos. Or Nab Lazaro, forever waiting by the job board, a running gag to many, but beneath that is a relatable truth. The fear of failure, the weight of self-doubt, the silent struggle of trying to find courage. His story may not be epic, but it's deeply human. And then there's Kiana's redemption arc. Once a cursed serpent, she quietly found purpose in fairy tale, reminding us that sometimes healing doesn't come from battles, but from the acceptance and belonging. These minor characters embody scars and dreams that mirror our own, the struggles outside the spotlight. Beyond fairy tale's walls, rival guilds and forgotten challenges shape the series in ways we rarely acknowledge. Remember Ichiya of Blue Pegasus? His over-the-top personality often made him comic relief, but his bravery during the Eurasian Sace arc and later in the Grand Magic Games proved that even the most unlikely figures can carry a battle. He went from being laughed at to becoming the reasons others survived. Or Sherry Blendy, once a quirky villain under Lyon, who later found love and redemption. Her shift showed us that even characters introduced for one arc can evolve beyond what we expect. Speaking of Leon Vastia, Grey's rival, his story often simmered in the background. His rivalry with Grey pushed him forward, while his unspoken feelings for Juvia added layers of heartbreak. Leon's struggle is a story of someone destined to always stand in another's shadow, yet still carving his own path. And let's not forget the other guilds like Mermaid Heel, Lamia Scale, and Sabertooth. Characters such as Kagura Migazuchi or Toby from Lamia Scale may not have hogged the spotlight, but their presence added depth to the fairy tale world. Every guild, every rival contributed to the vastness of this magical society, proving that fairy tale isn't just one family, it's about an entire ecosystem of lives, loves and losses. What truly makes fairy tale special isn't just the flashy battles, but the feeling of belonging. And this sense of home is built on the shoulders of lesser known members. Bisca and Alzack stand out as shining examples. While other guild members fought demons and dragons, these two quietly built a family. Their daughter Asuka represents the softer side of fairy tale, the reminder that love, stability and raising the next generation are victories just as important as defeating an enemy. Lucky Olita, the wood mage who fought when she needed but spent most of her days strengthening fairy tale's foundation, representing unsung loyalty. Max Allure, the sand mage and often forgotten comic relief, showed his worth when the guild needed him most during raids and war. Even Warren, Bixlow and Freed, the Raijinshu, who often played second fiddle to Laxus, each embodied growth, loyalty and sacrifice. These characters may not dominate the poster art, but they quietly remind us what it means to be part of something bigger than yourself. Sometimes the smallest roles leave the biggest impacts. Evergreen, during the S-class trials, surprised everyone by showing loyalty that no one expected, turning the tide in ways that rippled through future arcs. Or consider the nameless villagers who placed their trust in fairy tale. Each moment of their fate fueled Natsu and his friends to push beyond their limits. Even tiny actions like Jet and Roy standing beside Levi during the Phantom Lord War shows how small acts of courage can shape outcomes. Fairy tale mirrors real life. The people in the background, the quiet supporters, the ones who never claim center stage are often the ones holding everything together. And once you notice them, the story feels richer, more alive. So next time you rewatch fairy tale, pay attention to the ones in the background, the silent cheerers, the guild members who rarely speak, the rivals who never got closure. Their untold stories are threads woven into the larger tapestry, making fairy tale feel like a living, breathing world. These overlooked characters prove that fairy tale isn't just about heroes and villains, it's about community, resilience, and the quiet strength of those who stand behind the spotlight. Maybe that's the greatest lesson of all. You don't need to be the main character to matter, because in fairy tale, every voice counts and every story, no matter how small, deserves to be told.